as human beings, when we're backed into a corner, we tend to have a response to that. And the response to that is, right, if I'm going down, then you're coming down with me. And this is a sentiment that's been echoed throughout the ages in many, many different times with different people and in different ways. But the sentiment stays the same throughout. When people are backed into a corner, they tend to hit back hard. And one of the funny things about Labour's response to the reform shockwave that went through the whole political class, just a day or two ago, means that there's going to be a realignment within the political spectrum with all of these parties. I tried to cover yesterday the different responses from Labour, the Tories and Reform and how they are looking to position themselves. But Labour are the ones in power. They have the keys to power. They can do things. And so really the most pertinent response to listen to from our perspective as a normal citizen, a countryman, is to listen to what the man in power is telling us.
Results are disappointing, and I could stand here and say to you, opposition parties always do well in by-elections like this. It was very close in Runcorn, etc., etc. But what I want to say is my response is we get it. We were elected in last year to bring about change. That's what people desperately want. We started that work. The NHS waiting lists are down. Wages are up more than prices. Interest rates are down. But the message from these results, I think, is go further, go faster. That chimes with what I want to do. And that's what I take out of this. And I'm determined that we will go further and faster on the change that people want to see.
6 votes, so you could have won it.
Well, it was very, very close, but I'm not going to stand here and just say it was close. In the end, it's a binary outcome. You either win or you don't win. The question is how... And so I'm not going to respond by simply saying it was close. I want a better response than that, which is to say, I get it. I do know that change is needed. We are making that change. We need to go further and faster. I've been saying this for a number of weeks. This reinforces my determination that will deliver the change that people want across the country.
Now, the first thing to note is that I'm very suspicious when people tell me that I'm looking for change. The change that you're looking for is this. You're obviously very, very unhappy with how things are going, and so you want huge change in the country. Well, really, I didn't want any change from kind of post-1980, 1990. If we could have just held things as they were, that would have been tickety-boo on every level for me. But that point aside, I think what Keir Starmer has demonstrated in really straightforward terms, didn't mince his words at all. He said, what this demonstrates to me is that we need to go further and faster. I mean, talk about stop digging when you're in a hole. This man here doesn't get or is unable to back down from his policies, or more likely, he's an ideologue. Perhaps he's already resigned himself to what's going to be happening in future. Perhaps he knows that whatever scandal that he's been putting a lid on for however many months it's been, perhaps he knows that's going to come out and he's going to be finished after that. Perhaps he knows that already the Labour Party are so unpopular that the next election is an almost foregone conclusion. But either way, what I think is true is this. The Labour Party en masse realise that they ain't getting elected in next time now. It's pretty obvious at this stage that they're not going to be voted in again. Now, if that was you, what would you do? Well, it's quite straightforward. What you're going to do is you are going to ram through every policy that you've ever dreamed of in your darkest, sickest dreams that you've ever had. This point in time here is quite clear. Labour knows they're unpopular. And they're not going to change. They haven't done a U-turn and they are not going to do so. You've got it all going the wrong way for Labour, and I get the feeling directly from Mr. Starmer here, we're going to go further and faster. Is there any reason to disbelieve what he's saying at this point? I think we should all be extremely worried, in all earnestness, about what the current Labour Party are going to be doing, not attempting to do, doing to this country over the next 3 or 4 years. It could be really bad, but we have to sit here and take it, because we all voted them in, didn't we? Anyway, thanks very much for your time.